A lot of talk about Donald Trump, but there is actual stuff going on today with respect to tariffs. There's a whole batch of countries that have had letters sent to them from the US government in the most bizarre manner on Truth Social, signed letters from President Trump saying, "Dear Japan, dear South Korea, dear Malaysia, dear Kazakhstan, dear South Africa, dear Laos," informing their leaders of the tariff situation and what will be imposed on them. Japan, Korea, 25% tariff to the US. The other nations, Malaysia, South Africa, Myanmar, Laos, they're at 40%. You could go through the list. Now we haven't got ours yet, and perhaps we could be given an extension because we still haven't had a conversation with the guy. All right. So maybe, just maybe, we might get it. But there is a chance that we may get our letter too telling us what the outcome will be. So when you think about it, this puts at risk our food industry, exports, our mining industry, exports, our gas. And you put all those together, there's really, Queensland is the home of gas, of coal, of food. There's a lot on the line for the state of Queensland, but a lot on the line for all of us here with this. So I thought I would just dip into Queensland for a second and talk about what the impact of this will be if this goes the way we fear it will go for Australia. Malcolm Roberts is Senator for Queensland, One Nation, and One Nation has got, heading towards as many senators in the parliament as the National Party. So their view on this matters. I thought I'd talk to him. Malcolm Roberts, g'day.
G'day. What do you mean dipping into Queensland? Is it just before the state of origin, Jason?
Just before it, yeah. Just a little trip up north. I must say,
work psychological games on us, are you?
We'll try anything at all. But you've got to think about it. Food exports, huge, Queensland. Coal, yep. Huge, Queensland. Gas, huge, Queensland. It all happens in Queensland. And unfortunately, New South Wales has made itself the recipient state because if it wasn't for you blokes generating all the power, we wouldn't have enough here too. Now, that's got nothing to do with tariffs, but it does show that these economies are fragile and tariffs could do something.
I'm glad you mentioned energy. Actually, it's not a distraction at all, Jason. It's fundamental to a modern economy and modern civilization. And when we're destroying our electricity grid, as we are across the whole of the east coast of Australia, South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland, we are making ourselves into a very precarious position. But there is something else that needs to be added. Queensland has the potential for enormous exports of rare earths, minerals from northwestern Queensland. There's a whole area there still to be opened up. And our state government for decades now have neglected the northwest. But we have got the potential for really putting Australia on the map when it comes to rare earth metals.
I should point out, Malcolm was a mining engineer, and I guess you never stop being a mining engineer, and thank goodness he understands it because very few in Parliament do. But what would be the impact of these US tariffs on the Australian mining industry, which powers this country?
I don't know enough about the actual details of what tariffs are putting on, but I think Trump has shown throughout his life that he's a negotiator. He throws the cards up in the air, catches everyone off guard, and then jumps in when he's picking up the cards. So I don't know what he's got in mind, but he has shown signals with other countries that he's after rare earth metals for America to compete in the modern age. So there is a huge opportunity for us there. But what this is really is a wake-up call. We haven't been given a letter. We've just been assumed that we're going to be treated like we're still at 10%. But they're part of Trump's agenda to put America first. And that's something that our country needs to start doing. Under Liberal and Labor for decades, we have not put Australia first. We've sold out on free trade agreements. We've sold out our manufacturing with the Lima Declaration in 1975, which the Labor Party signed and the Liberal Party ratified the following year in 76. So what we've got to do is take a lead from Donald Trump and start putting Australia first.
So let me turn that around. Would you support Australia having a tariff attitude?
I think we have, yes, I would.
And so just let's put this practically speaking. So we could have maybe protected the Australian car industry from where it is now, which is almost non-existent. I mean, we make buses and caravans here. We don't make cars here. We could have actually kept one going.
Correct. We do need to consider. Whitlam signed the Lima Declaration, which basically transferred our manufacturing to China and other Asian countries. That was done deliberately under a UN Lima Declaration in 1975. The Liberals have ratified that in 76 and have perpetuated it. Manufacturing has been shot. It's not only tariffs that have caused the problem. The number one cost component in manufacturing, Jason, is not labour anymore. It's not wages. It's electricity by far. And what we've done in this country with our putting up UN policies, net zero, Paris Agreement, etc., we are destroying our electricity sector. We've gone from being the cheapest power in the world to amongst the most expensive, all due to the UN policies, and that is destroying our manufacturing. What we're doing is we're subsidising with our taxes and with our electricity prices the Chinese to build subsidised solar and wind complexes in this country, and we're subsidising the Chinese to do it and to run it, and we're then sending our manufacturing jobs to China.
It's a really interesting point. I think people do forget that often. We think because this is an expensive country, our labour's expensive versus the rest of the world. We pay big money per hour for people working in manufacturing versus what other nations do, but they're not dumb enough to put their power through the roof. So we've done both.
Correct. And it's not just power on manufacturers, on employers and businesses. It's the higher cost of living due to failed energy policies. And the rampant inhuman, I would call it inhuman, excessive immigration in this country, which is shooting house prices through the roof, making it unaffordable. People we're really screwing the lives of people in their 20s. The young adults, the future leaders of this country, the future citizens of this country are being jacked off because they're just facing huge cost increases. And electricity is a critical component in every part of our economy. And then we've got COVID fraud and mismanagement, which led to Pfizer and Moderna getting $18 billion in wealth transfer.
Oh gosh, we don't even have enough time to do that. But yeah, you're right.
No, but we have looked after foreign corporations, Jason.
Over the top.
That's just one example.
Yeah, and you know, I always think about it because people always say the people in the 20. I have kids that are in their 13, 11 and 9. They don't have a vote. They don't have a say, and yet the decisions being made today are going to be decisions that they will pay for, and the kids of today are being punished by the stupidity and ignorance of so many people that are electing clowns to high office, and we're getting basically, we're not paying for it because they'll be the ones that end up paying for it.
Correct. You hit the nail on the head.
Crazy.
And the reason is because our Constitution is the only Constitution in the world in which the people got to vote on the Constitution before it was introduced, the only one. And that Constitution puts the people at the top of the sovereignty arrangements in this country. And yet what we're seeing in this country for decades under Labor and Liberal is people serving the government. It should be the government serving the people. Put Australia's interests first. We need to be working to restore independence, and that means freeing up electricity, stopping immigration at the moment until we catch up with their infrastructure and housing, until we can start to understand what's really going on.
Yeah, here. I mean, this is, there'll be people listening. I listen to this radical stuff being spoken. Never a truer thing has been said. That is it. Good on you.
Our Prime Minister has met with Xi Jinping 4 times. Why so much effort into China? I know they're a big trading partner, but why so much effort into China? What about the rest of the countries in the world, including America?
Yeah, that's so true. Good on you. Nice talking to you, Malcolm. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
That's Senator Malcolm Roberts from One Nation, who is a smart man, and he's one of these fellas, when he speaks, it's worth listening to what he's got to say. Doesn't just shoot from the hip. You can tell he reads a lot and knows a lot. I think what we are seeing at the moment is just, it's like they've pushed the levers wrongly. They're pushing up wages, pushing up power, and they're just making everything in Australia uncompetitive at the moment, including living here. It's just, you can't help but think there must be somebody behind them pushing the levers for them, because it's just so dumb. And surely if you're smart enough to get elected, you're smart enough to know these are not smart